Okay, let's do this. Monday Night Raw. What do we got here tonight, huh? Feel like a lot of news has been happening throughout the day and whatnot. See, I did that with the chair. It goes up and down. But yeah. Monday Night Raw. What do we got here tonight? Ontario, California. A lot of things happened on this show tonight. Honestly, do I think this was actually a good show? In some ways, yes and no. But we did see some important things going on, I will say, for Monday Night Raw. I will say this, once again, I said it before, this show is better than SmackDown right now. And, on some levels. Okay, maybe on every level, but it's better than SmackDown. I'm not saying Raw is perfect, but it's looking better than SmackDown right now. But we do kick off the show tonight with old Jesus in the ring right there. Seth, Buddy Murphy, and AOP, which, I guess I should be saying right now, he is not even called Buddy Murphy anymore. He is now just called Murphy. I saw a lot of people getting pissed about that over the weekend and whatnot. And let me say this about the whole Buddy Murphy or Murphy situation. I wasn't really a fan of the name to begin with anyways. I know a lot of people didn't like Buddy. Some people said it sounded like a jobber's name. I got used to it. Like, Buddy Murphy is Buddy Murphy. But I think he was only called Buddy at first when he was, if you go back, when he was teaming with Blake and they were only just called Blake and Murphy. I'm sorry, maybe he wasn't called Buddy. He was just called Murphy before. And he was with, Alexa Bliss was the manager before both of them kind of became their own thing of Wesley Blake and Buddy Murphy. At this point, I don't know why they changed. I guess they just thought that, Murphy would be a more easier name. I don't know. I would get WWE with these short name changes half the time anyways, or Vince or whatever. It's like with a lot of these people with names. Like, Buddy Murphy's got to be Murphy. Andrade Cien Almas, he just has to be Andrade. Who else has had they've had some name changes. I'm trying to remember who else, because, Hanson and Rowe, Icar, and Razor, or not Razor, not Hanson and Rowe, it's Ivar and what? Yeah, I don't even remember their names for some reason. I'm having a mind blank right now. I'm just used to calling them Hanson and Rowe and Ivar and Akam, or no, it's not Akam. You know what? We'll just skip that. But I don't know. WWE is weird with these. Like, they have a first name, last name, like Otis, and I know I can't announce his last name, Otis Darjovic, but just Otis, or Tucker Knight, it's Tucker, and I don't know, WWE is weird with these name changes. So, Murphy, Buddy Murphy. If you want to call him Buddy Murphy, like how I do with some of these other names, I don't call Andrade. I still go by Cien Almas, or just Almas half the time. But, the name change is honestly unnecessary. But, I never thought Buddy Murphy was the really greatest name to begin with. But, well, yeah, I guess we'll just go with this, but it's just kind of silly and all this time. But they just like doing these one name changes, like, you can't have a first name, Antonio Cesaro. We'll just call you Cesaro, just for short. So these name things can be really weird half the time. But as Seth and them were in the ring, they pretty much talk about their message of unity, and a message will be heard. So Kevin Owens came out, and pretty much Rollins warned him, you're in over your head. Like, you made a mistake 2 weeks ago with Joe, and you made a mistake with, Hanson and Rowe, or Ivar, the Viking, or the War Raiders or whatnot. Owen says, listen, I keep fighting. You talk way too much. Like I said before, you keep talking. Pretty much, War Machine came out. Ron said, like, listen, you have a problem finding partners that they can't stay upright. Owens pretty much pushed both of them and checked them. Like, these guys are pretty solid to me, so I'm sick of you talking, so let's do this thing. Next thing you know, they charge the ring. They start going at, Buddy and or Murphy and AOP, but Samoa Joe shows up behind on Seth Rollins. Crowd's really hot here, by the way. He shows up behind them and starts to choke him out and everything until they all start brawling in the ring. Then pretty much throw him out of there. Samoa Joe also having a new haircut. I see he's got braids this time, or cornrows or whatnot. But I gotta say one thing about Samoa Joe. Samoa Joe always has some crazy hairstyle going on. Sometimes he has a mohawk, then he doesn't have any hair, then he has a lot of hair. This time now he got like some braids now and whatnot and everything, or cornrows or whatever. So hey, Samoa Joe, it's whatever to me, but I just kind of know it's like, hey, this dude got braids now. I'm like, okay, another new hairstyle for Samoa Joe this time. So he always got a different hairstyle going on. But so hey, let's see how he works with the braids this time. All right, but moving on after that, Becky Lynch came out. Which, by the way, also when they were all standing in the ring, Becky did come out, and they just pretty much left as they all kind of took a look as she headed to the ring for her title match with Asuka. Asuka came out. She spoke in Japanese, talking about Becky. I took this word. She said easy, squeezy, lemon peasy. It looked like it was about to be at one point, but this was a good match though. Now it didn't make any sense because Asuka's already lost to Becky, and well, I should say tapped out to Becky. But this was good, though. This was an enjoyable match. Went on nearly about 20 minutes, I think. But this was really good. I did like the ending to it, where it was a lot of roll-up, pretty much finishes, and they kept dodging it, trying to go for their finishers, kick, or the disarmer. It ended up with Becky just doing a Uranagi or rock bottom for the win on Asuka. So I don't think come on, Asuka was never gonna win this match. It was still a really good match though. Both of them are really great on what they do. We always know Becky and Asuka can have a really good match, and this was another one too. But come on, who really thought Asuka was winning? Didn't really make a lot of sense to why she even got a title shot to begin with. But next thing you know, of course, the big story now is that Shayna Bazler shows up, and I was just waiting for either Shayna or a lot of people said Rousey was gonna be coming back. Shayna wasn't a big pop for her, but she got some NXT chants out there. She put the Karafuda clutch in on her, but then next thing you know, Baszler took off her mouth guard and pretty much bit Becky on the neck, and then her whole mouth was covered in blood. Then, as there was blood going down Becky's neck, Becky says, "Get some help," and I think they had to block out some words because she kept saying "Jesus Christ" several times. The EMTs came out and helped her, as they helped her to the back. Now, okay, let me say a couple things about this. Number one, like I said before, very good match between Becky and Asuka. Always great. Baszler, I figured she was going to be the next one. I kept saying, all right, okay, it's going to be Baszler, it's going to be Ronda. It's going to be Baszler, it's going to be Ronda. Someone's got to go for title at WrestleMania. I didn't mind the whole, though, of course she's going to choke her out. Now, the biting thing, that was a little bit ridiculous. Obviously, that was a blood pack. I had this conversation with someone, and they said, well, it does look legit because they could, chew through the arteries or whatnot. Yeah, it's true, but come on, man. You can obviously tell that was a blood pack. And, I'm seeing everybody tonight saying, like, well, maybe Shayna Bazler is a vampire now, and then I'm hearing like, okay, she may be the next member of the Brood next, which I thought that was pretty funny, the Brood. And why so serious? She could be the new Joker since the blood was all over her mouth. Like, why so serious? Becky, what is it, the Dark Knight Returns or something? But like I said, I like the whole Baszler coming in on Becky, because I didn't. Come on, what was Baszler really going to do left in NXT? Because I kind of thought she was going to still be sticking around NXT for a minute, but I'm like, they got to be bringing her up sooner or later, and it's going to be against Becky. I just know it was going to happen. But, like I said, it was still a good segment, though. The biting thing it just looked kind of ridiculous to me with the blood. It just, come on, man. You could tell it was a blood pack just going all over the place, so just a lot of blood. Next thing you know, Mojo Rawley is out there with Riddick Moss as they do that little side-by-side screen thing. Street Profits come out pretty much talking about Mojo Rawley, saying that you nothing but just riding Rob Gronkowski's coattails. That's kind of true. And he says he ain't ready for that. And they said they want all the smoke. Basically, the Street Profits won with their finisher on Roderick Moss, and that was it. Ford got the splash, and then next thing you know, Mojo starts yelling at Roderick Moss, and Moss pins him, and new 24/7 champion. There you go. I have no idea what this really was. Mojo, I thought he was getting some type of push, but what is it? 1 week he says he's going to make the 24/7 title important. Then he brings out not Mojo, but he brings Roderick Moss as the defensive lineman or something. And then he gets his head kicked off by Mac. What would he know? He beat No Way Jose. He gets his head kicked off by McIntyre in 5 seconds. And now the guy who he brought in for his team or whatever this was loses, never said anything, turns on him, and is now the new 24/7 champion. None of this makes sense, but Mojo, it amazes me he's still here. I don't get it. I honestly don't get it. It's so dumb. I don't know. That was just odd and stupid. And then Becky, they show her in the back, pretty much the ambulance. She didn't want to go. She pretty much told everybody to get off her. And Becky basically just carjacks the ambulance, Grand Theft Auto style, and drives away. And I'm sure people are already comparing, like, well, this was like Stone Cold or what he did back then. And yeah, true, but I'm not going to go into the whole argument. Becky Lynch is not the new Stone Cold Steve Austin. I said that many, many months ago when she was more on fire at the time. And I remember this one dude tried to getting some debate with me, and it actually got mad too, because I said Becky Lynch and Stone Cold were really not the same thing, and he went on this whole rant, and actually got pissed off. I thought it was funny, because I pissed this dumbass off, and he said, well, Stone Cold is Becky and Stone Cold got the same move set, and they got the same reaction, and I said, no, that's not true, and everything, so I could already see the comparisons going in, again, and even I kind of saw like they're trying to make a Stone Cold again, and then I just thought it was funny that she just carjacked the ambulance. I'm like, what is this, Grand Theft Auto 5 or something? This is Grand Theft Auto now. So Becky drove off, which they said she went to the ambulance or the hospital then. MVP came out then, which honestly I did not think MVP was gonna be back. Back here. I think it was said that he had his last WWE match a couple weeks ago against Rey Mysterio, which wasn't honestly that bad, because I know MVP is still wrestling on the indies to some extent. I don't know if he has a contract with WWE or what this is, because I was honestly surprised to see him back. He didn't really get that much of a reaction, but people did chant his name though as he was here for the VIP lounge. Says it's been a long time. He says, I should have never left y'all. I think you did good leaving for a while. Like, I think MVP was doing just fine when he was not in WWE for a long time. Yeah, wasn't I think MVP like first IWGP Intercontinental Champion, I think, and he was wrestling New Japan for a few years, and I think I've said this before. Yeah, and in New Japan, TNA, MLW. So MVP said he's been gone for about 10 years or whatnot, which I remember in interviews he said he wanted to be gone too or whatnot. But yeah, MVP was wrestling in several companies. I remember before being gone about 10 years. But as I said, yeah, MVP says he's been gone for about 10 years. He welcomed his first guest to the VIP lounge, which was Drew McIntyre. Pretty much security wasn't going to let him through, but he ended up kicking down the ropes and still going in there. Fans chanted Drew for a second. MVP pretty much said, we got history with each other and whatnot. Pretty much told McIntyre that, you got to, you focusing on what you're doing. You won the Royal Rumble. Don't listen to the naysayers and whatnot. And, people been talking about you behind your back out here. That's why we ain't here and they out there. McIntyre says, always a catch with you. Why are you saying that for? And he says, I'm not saying anything or whatnot. I'm saying we with you got all the tools, but a lot of people say you ain't ready to be WWE champion yet. And, you and me, thought I heard something. We gonna change all that, basically. They said they're gonna change everything up, and they said, what do you mean we? We didn't win the Royal Rumble. Like, I know we didn't win the Royal Rumble, but listen, man, you need someone to guide you. You need a vet on your side. Listen, I may not be in the ring no more over here, but I'm still around here in this company, and pretty much, you need someone to handle the interviews and whatnot. And McIntyre says, I need an advocate, or another Paul Heyman. He says, that'd be a better looking version of him. And he says, like, unlike Lesnar, I don't need an external mind or anything, okay? I can do this on my own. I don't need a business partner kissing his ass, basically. Okay, so McIntyre said he was going to do it on his own. MVP said, I'll never kiss no ass. I'm an ass kicker. Drew pretty much went on this, he was going to go walk off. But MVP grabs, says, don't turn your back on me. Alright, you need me. And McIntyre ended up headbutting him, and then he pretty much hit him with a Claymore kick and left after that and tried to mock this whole balling thing. Listen, a lot of this segment, okay, now, I feel like this was just there to get Drew over, which I don't know why they need the VIP lounge to do it, and I was almost kind of surprised that people even knew who MVP even was when they chanted his name, because I don't think they've seen him in so long. I probably figured a lot of these people forgot who he was. And it's not like it's going to be some MVP versus Drew McIntyre match next week, because then they say, I think MVP say he's done wrestling on WWE, and he's just being like I don't know what he's doing in this company. I don't know if he's still around this company or he's going to manage somebody. Anything. If they do keep him as a manager, hey, you might as well throw him back with Lashley. It worked back then when they were in Impact together, because obviously it's better than putting Lana with Bobby Lashley. At least MVP can talk, okay? I remember that whole Beatdown clan they had going at the time. Honestly, him and McIntyre were in Impact at the time when they had the Rising versus the BDC out there, I remember. Because I think, McIntyre had Eli Drake and what was that dude's name? He's Tongaloa now on New Japan. It was Koya, or not Koya, it was another name he had, but Tongaloa, the BDC, it was MVP, Kenny King, Loki. Then it was like Homicide, and Bobby Lashley never joined, but they had MVP and Lashley kind of as a team, but MVP was always talking for him, so MVP, we all know dude can talk and whatnot, so maybe he does manage somebody. Maybe he doesn't manage somebody. I don't know what he does, but maybe they're going to keep him as a manager. Like I said, but the McIntyre thing, no. McIntyre's still getting good reactions out there, so that's good. People still doing a little countdown thing. So far, so good with building McIntyre to WrestleMania and whatnot. The VIP lounge was just kind of like, okay, let's just put it there to be there, but it's not like you're going to see a match with any of these two next week, so there you go. Next thing you know, Garza was out there with Zelina Vega. Cedric Alexander was in the ring already. Pretty much, they asked her, oh, did you see that? Vega pretty much said that, Garza is a man's man and everything and whatnot. Pretty much, he on the mic also, he says, I'm also a ladies' man, because no woman can resist him. Did this guy just get engaged on NXT not that long ago? I know he's the guy that rips off his pants, same with Tai Chi, but, they love to rip off their pants for some reason. But I swear this dude got engaged, and they showed it during the commercial, I remember. But next, Humberto Carlo came out, and, Carrillo came out and pretty much attacked Garza. They brawled for a second. Security came out. Fans trying to let them fight and everything as they got Carrillo out of here. So, like I said before, Garza there is still Almas's replacement till he comes back, but and whatnot. But at least it seems to be working. I just kind of keep figuring out if this guy heel or face sometime. Okay, he's a heel here, but I'm not saying he's a face on NXT, but if he's going back after the Cruiserweight title, he's going after a heel. So is it a heel versus heel, or is he the face going after the heel? So, hey, good for Garza, though. He's on 2 different shows right now. He's on Raw, he's on NXT, so things seem to be looking okay. He ended up going against Cedric Alexander. Nothing much really happened. He beat him with the wing clipper for the win. I look at that wing clipper sometimes. Somebody brought this up to me. Is this move really effective? Because all it looks like he really does, he grabs you, he sits down, and you kind of wonder, how does it affect you in a way? Because it's not like it's a DDT or anything. It's like he just kind of grabs you kind of clutched onto him, and he just sits down, and that's the move. So even I kind of wonder, how does this move actually really hurt or affect you sometime? I kind of wonder that. I don't know why. I feel like his finisher needs to be changed, but maybe it does. And if he wing clipped him and kind of lift him in the air, hit him with a big DDT, that would look a little bit better. But I'm just saying no about the whole wing clipper move. Rhea Ripley was back on Raw again, pretty much talking about Charlotte's answer. Next thing you know, Sarah Logan showed up and said, "Who do you think you are showing up here?" And pretty much says, "Who do you think I am? I'm Rhea Ripley. Who are you?" Which, honestly, that's a very good question, because I forget Sarah Logan is even part of this company half the time. Okay, Lashley pretty much talked about he was going to beat Ricochet after what happened last week and get his rightful opportunity. He's going to soften up him for Lesnar. Logan came out there pretty much saying, like, my name is Sarah Logan and I'm here to protect my turf. I tell you, Sarah Logan is not good on the microphone. I have no idea what they have her doing at the time. Ripley came out to face her. Charlotte's music hit also as she stood up on the stage. Not much of a match. Ripley won with the Riptide after that, and then pretty much says, "What's your answer, Charlotte? You came to NXT, you didn't give an answer. You didn't give an answer on Raw last week. You're becoming a royal pain in my." And then Charlotte cut her off. Pretty much says, "That's just how the Queen operates," and whatnot. And Charlotte says, "We don't even know if you'll be still NXT Women's Champion by Sunday at NXT Takeover Portland." I'm surprised that show's not on a Saturday and it's on Sunday next week. I'm so used to the takeovers being on Saturday. It's a little now kind of odd. Like, okay, it's on a Sunday this time, huh? Okay, well, it's 6 matches. Maybe they got more matches added for a takeover. I don't know, but even I was kind of thinking like, okay, takeover's gonna be on a Sunday this time, not on a Saturday. All right, but I expect Charlotte to be there at Takeover this Sunday. I'm not saying Ripley's going to lose the title, or maybe she costs the title and then Bianca wins. I don't know how that's going to go. Or maybe Bianca wins and becomes a triple threat. I have no idea, okay? But next, they hyped up next year's WrestleMania, by the way, which will be in LA. I don't think they've been in LA for WrestleMania since WrestleMania 21. And it's supposed to be at the new stadium that's being built. So, WrestleMania goes Hollywood again. It's kind of funny. Wasn't the Oscars last night, I believe, or something? I think Joker won an award or whatnot. But I think that was last night. The Oscars, I didn't watch it. I was watching Power at the time. I don't really give a crap about the Oscars that much anyways. Power was on, and trust me, I could say a lot about that show, or quote-unquote series finale, which I wouldn't really call because it got 3-4 more spinoffs. So I want to say it's just season 7, then the series is over. But I can go into that whole thing because I have a mixed bag opinion on the quote unquote ending, but I'm not gonna get into that now. Maybe I will get into Power one day if I ever talk about it. But it's one thing I will say. I have a feeling somehow, some way, Ghost will be back in the spinoff. I don't know why. Hey, I'm just going to say this. Never saw a body. Never saw a funeral. I don't know why. Just something about that ending. But we'll save Power Talk for another day. But I just have a feeling Ghost will be back. But one day. Alive. Which I don't even think he's dead. Ricochet ended up going against Bobby Lashley. Obviously, this was a match to pretty much set up, that Ricochet can handle bigger opponents or anything. Wasn't a bad match or whatnot, but come on. Who in God's name really believe Ricochet is going to beat Brock Lesnar at the, Blood Money 5 show in general, okay? Honestly, I already said what I had to say about it last week. I'm not really looking forward to this match for several reasons. I still think they made the mistake. You might as well have done Lesnar and Lashley. At least it was more interesting and whatnot, but obviously, they didn't want to do that, and I still think that's the money match. I said this when Lashley came back into the company, but obviously they do not want to do that, and we're going to throw Ricochet to the Wolves. I already told you last week. I could already tell you how this whole match is played out and whatnot. Ricochet won with the 630 and everything, so it's kind of whatever, if you ask me. So it's not like Ricochet's ever going to win. Randy Orton came out then, and he had a microphone in his hand. He had booze. And talked about, I guess I should explain what I did to Edge 2 weeks ago. He says it hurt him more than it hurt Edge. Next thing you know, Matt Hardy's music hit. Fans chanted delete several times. And he says, come on, Randy, I want to know too. Why'd you do it, huh? And he says, I know what you did to Edge. And, why do I give a damn about Edge? I'm probably one of the last people that give a damn about Edge through the history they had. I hated Edge more than anybody. Well, then next thing you know, people chanted Lita and everything, because I'm sure everybody knows the Edge Orton, Lita storyline, if you want to go back to that. One of the hottest things at the time, which was true, but was turned into an angle and whatnot. So fans chanted Lita. I like what somebody said on Twitter tonight. Let's see if Rebby there may bitch on Twitter about this. No one her shit on Twitter and everything, because I heard a lot of people said that online, and I'm kind of waiting for that too for some reason. But Lita chants happened. Matt pretty much says, like, I hated Edge more than anybody else. And we were friends at one point that, him, brother Jeff, Edge and Christian, that, we re-rolled the roads up and down together. We even stayed in the same hotel to save some money and everything. And that we were just four passionate kids, pretty much becoming big WWE superstars or dreaming WWE superstars, and talked about their match back in No Mercy 1999, that ladder match that they revolutionized it, fans chanted TLC, and that, the fans know about the TLC match. Of course, the masses of the ladders, the chairs, and the tables, we all know that whole thing. And pretty much he says, that we've all stole the show on occasion, and we've also made it to WrestleMania several times. But when Edge was forced to retire, everything, all that hate he had from him disappeared. And now that, he say he loves his performance for the WWE Universe, and pretty much when Edge came back and made his miraculous return, he was like, what if, and everything. And after 9 years, he made it back. So he looked at Orton and says, what the hell's wrong with you? Orton pretty much tried to walk away and whatnot, and he tried to RKO him. Hardy pretty much tried to attack him for a minute, but Orton ended up RKOing him. He grabbed some chairs and concertoed him and then left. This was good, especially with Matt coming out, knowing the history. Now, I'm sure everybody knows, was this Matt's final time in WWE, and this is how they wrote him off, because there's been a whole bunch of talk in the past few weeks about his contract coming up, and it's almost over. And I'm sure everybody's hoping Matt Hardy leaves, which I hope to God he does leave. So was this the way to write Matt Hardy out, by kind of having him involved in the Edge thing, which is smart in a way, because the history and whatnot. I'm almost surprised Christian didn't come out and say anything about. Maybe Christian. I don't think Christian's gonna be in a match. I think he doesn't wrestle anymore due to concussions. But maybe Christian shows up during one of these weeks in this whole story. I know I'm not saying it's a slow burn, but obviously they're trying to take their time by easing this into WrestleMania. So bringing Matt Hardy out there did make sense, looking at the history between him and Edge. Like, hey, I hated him more than you. But Orton attacking him was coming. I was just waiting for him to get RKO'd. I'm sure everybody right now is saying this is 2000 and now Randy Orton again, when he was the psycho kicking folks in the head everywhere, which to an extent can happen, but it is working for him right now, of Orton beating the crap out of people. But like I said before, was this a way of writing Matt Hardy off of TV? Possibly, because, like I said, his contract's coming up, and I'm sure a lot of people really want him to leave, because it's not like he's doing nothing else right now. And I'm sure I'm not going to get the whole AEW talk, but everybody say he could be the exhilarated one, or we could be getting a broken gimmick back on the Indies or at Impact, which I would love to see that back too, by the way, because WWE messed that whole thing up. But we'll see what happens with Matt Hardy. I don't think Jeff's going anywhere, though, until Jeff Hardy gets clean, hopefully. But I don't know the stats of his contract, but I really do believe Matt Hardy is leaving. I don't think he's going to resign. So I don't know if this was his last time on here to get written off, because obviously I believe he is on his way out the door. So we'll see if that is the last of Matt Hardy. A lot of promotions for Sonic the Hedgehog on this show tonight, too, because that movie comes out this Friday. I know he did that during the last year match. This match is sponsored by Sonic the Hedgehog and whatnot. I'm like, okay, a lot of Sonic stuff on here, but obviously they had to promote that. But I will say I may check out that movie, though, to be honest. For Sonic, at least he looks like the Sonic model again. It actually looks like a better model than the first one they had come out in the trailer. Will this be related to the video game? I am not really sure, but it's him versus Robotnik, Eggman, whatever you go. I will see the movie because I'm a big Sonic the Hedgehog fan, or Mark if you want to go say that. So I know a lot about the Hedgehog, so I do want to check out that movie, though. So I'm not mad at all the whole promotion and everything, but hopefully that movie does not suck. So looking forward for the Hedgehog, okay? I played most of the video games. Damn near all the video games. Except didn't finish Sonic 06. That game sucked ass. But Aleister Black came out as they interviewed Ruby Riott in the back, talking about Liv Morgan, saying everybody wants to talk about Liv Morgan. She made this metamorphosis thing, but she's like a puppy dog. She's a follower, and I have to put her in her place. Aleister Black went against Akira Tozawa, pretty much beat him. Black Mass, it was over. Then he got on the microphone, talked about he wanted to share an intimate moment with the fans. and that he's building something, and that escaping the ideas of paradise and whatnot, that you must rebel against paradise, and it started to feel like an animal in a cage, and that it's not me trapped in this cage, it's you trapped in this metaphoric cage with me. I have no idea what the hell he's talking about 2 weeks in a row, but obviously it's going to some opponent. I have no idea who he's talking about yet. I already told you last week there were a lot of people thinking who it's going to be his opponent. Maybe it's still Seth, some are saying. Maybe it's AJ Styles. Some are saying The Undertaker. I have no idea what Aleister Black is going for right now. So we going to wait and we going to see. Becky Lynch came back from the hospital, I guess, bandaged up, still with some blood on her. But she talked about she wants to know where Bazler is. You want to try to, stick your rat teeth in my back and, get my attention. Mission accomplished because now I'm coming for you, okay? So, Becky, still making the hump for Bazler. I'm sure we'll get more of that next week. Of course, they got to promote Blood Money 5. I guess AJ Styles will be back sooner or later. He will be at the Saudi show in some gauntlet match. Same with Almas. His suspension should be up by then, too. So, obviously, those two will be back along with Rowan, Truth, and Rusev. What the hell is he, by the way? And Lashley. And whatever Blood Money match there. I have no idea. But we got to the main event of course, Seth's crew. Blood Money. Why am I saying Blood Money or Jesus? Yes, right there. Jesus Christ. I'm still calling him that for some reason. It's like two Jesuses. You got Seth Jesus. You got Cody Christ. You have a lot of things from this. Okay? But in the main event, though, like I said, Kevin Owens, Samoa Joe, AOP. Not AOP. War Raiders versus AOP, Seth and Murphy. Not bad of a match in the main event. Of course, I kind of figured what was going to happen here. But this was still good at the same time in this 8-man tag. Pretty much ended up with Seth and them getting the win. Samoa Joe at the Coquina Clutch on... he had the Coquina Clutch on... wow, I'm really kind of blanking a thing right here, but yeah, he had the Coquina Clutch on Seth, but he was able to pretty much tag Buddy Murphy. Buddy went from the top rope, pretty much tried to get Joe. Joe had him in the clutch then, but Joe ended up getting curb stomped to the ground and losing the match. So Seth once again an upper hand on Kevin Owens and team. Obviously it may be some big tag match. I don't know if it's gonna be a big tag match at WrestleMania, or it could just be Kevin Owens versus Seth at WrestleMania. I'm just kind of jumping a little bit to conclusions right now, but not a bad main event, though. I will say that. I feel like people seen it before, but once again, Joe is taking the L right here. So, yeah. But I feel like, I feel like I've seen this match one too many times, but I feel like I've seen some variations of all these teams going against each other almost every other week now. I will say that, too. But, of course, they still keeping Seth as the win. Either 6-man tag, 8-man tag, regular tag. It's like every time they keep doing all these matches, Kevin Owens and his team keeps losing. So we'll see what happens next week from this. But other than that, though, that is my review of Monday Night Raw tonight. Check out my New Japan Pro Wrestling, the New Beginning in Osaka review, which is uploaded right now. Comment, subscribe. Tell me what you think about the show. Follow me on Twitter at HoodedKnight890. I'll see you guys later. Peace out.